Good afternoon, everyone. We will continue our media availabilities for today. We are now joined by Michael Nelson, President of NASCAR Operations for Team Penske, and Brian Wilson, race-winning crew chief. We'll go ahead and open it for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand, and we will get a mic over to you. We'll start here in the front with Kelly, and then we'll go to Bob.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Brian, yesterday Austin admitted after should have won the Daytona 500, should have won Atlanta, to have these fast race cars and not have the results. It's been a little frustrating. To win today, not only does it feel good to get a win, but to do it on a super speedway and finally check that box after how strong you've been the start of the season, how good or how much of a relief is that?
Yeah, I feel like it's rewarding. I think rewarding is the right word. Austin, our spotter Doug, they all put in a lot of work. The whole crew, everyone at Team Penske puts in a lot of work to the Speedway program. Everyone at Roush Yates. So it's really rewarding to finally get a win. As you said, we felt like we were in contention and we had cars that could have potentially won those first two races. So to be able to get it done today is definitely rewarding.
We'll go to Bob and then to Zach, right here in the front.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. Mike, while the IMSA side has been winning, both the NASCAR and IndyCar sides had not gotten a win. So I'm curious what was kind of the aura in the shop as far as was there frustration? Is it or were you guys pretty feeling good about performance, just not results?
Yeah, I think you're always frustrated about not getting the results. I think the IndyCar season's early underway. I think those guys look. I feel like they're pretty strong going into Indianapolis here in a few weeks. But no, we've had fast cars on the NASCAR side. I felt like almost every week, and just something ends up happening and costing us a win. And so we weren't down, but yeah, there's definitely a level of frustration that builds when it just doesn't come through, doesn't happen at the end. So happy to get the 2-car in victory lane today.
We'll go to Zach here in the middle, and then over to Jenna, and then John.
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com for either of you. I was hoping you could speak just to Austin and what he's done to make himself better and to put in the type of work that you talked about. Just how rewarding is it just to see that hard work pay off in a performance like today and other times this year so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Austin for a really long time. I've known him since he was a kid, and I've watched him grow and develop over time, and the amount of work that he's put in multiple series, but also once, getting into the Cup Series, the amount of effort that he's put in and everything that he's gone through. I know he was really frustrated to not have won a couple of these races so far, and so, yeah, it's really rewarding to see people go through, put the work in, and achieve something that they set out to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Austin has great work ethic. I think the first time I crew chiefed him was about 10 years ago, so I've seen him grow quite a bit. I think he's the type of guy that he takes all information in. He really retains it. He wants to study it. So I think the type of driver he is really fits the way that Team Penske operates. We love to, we're data-driven, really. So we love to provide things for him to be able to study, and I think he's really done a great job applying it.
We'll go to Jenna, then to John.
Fryer, AP, my question's for Mike. At the end of the second stage, Joey was livid on his radio at Austin about not helping him, and he said it allowed Bubba to win the stage. But by the time the race was over, Joey was like, yeah, well, it's good to see a Team Penske guy. So how long does that stuff kind of last, and do you guys ever have to address it internally?
Well, I think our team has done a really good job of working together as a team over the years, especially at these races. But when you see that, you realize how difficult it is behind the scenes, And I guess it again proves these guys that we have, they want to win the races, right? They want to win for their team. But at the end of the day, it's just like a normal family. We have to go in and close the door when we're not, in front of everybody else and work through the issues that we have. And, there's obviously some frustration there and, heat of the moment situation for sure. But no, I think we've done a better job than most, but it just shows you that there's still more work to do and that it's something that you have to continually work on race after race.
We'll go to John, then to Jordan, then to Bob.
John Newby, Savage Ventures. So Brian, I was talking to someone on the Toyota side, and they said that, you guys had essentially seen what they did by short pitting early in stage 2 and then did the opposite, and that ended up being the race-winning move. I was curious, was there any reaction on the part of, the Ford camp to kind of run long, or was that kind of a pre-planned decision?
Yeah, I think that's something we always evaluate, and we try to look at what the lap times are. If somebody does short pit, you try to watch and see where they're going to cycle out. So I think as a group, there's a lot of great communication amongst the Ford camp. So yeah, absolutely, we saw what they were doing. I think we reacted very well to it, and then it really just comes down to executing on pit road. So every step of that, I think we did really well.
And just a quick follow-up, I guess, was it odd to see one of these races go green all the way to the end?
I don't know if it's odd or not, but I know we were all on the pit box worried that a caution was going to come out. When you're in those situations, you always think about those things, but just glad it worked out.
We'll go to Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. This question's for both of you, not necessarily related to today. NASCAR was floated or had talked to the teams about running a run what you brung concept to the All-Star race. Wondering from your perspective, good idea, bad idea, and where you guys stand on that.
Well, I think for us, I obviously I heard about this. Just heard at some point that it wasn't going to happen. But really, our goal at the end of the day is just try to win with whatever rules they give us. I think we always give our opinion when we're asked, but again, if it was going to be that, we'd go do our best at that, so yeah, we just bring it on, whatever the rules are, wherever the races are. We just try to take that for what it is. It's out of our control to a certain extent, and try to be successful at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo what Michael said there. If they change the rules, I feel like there's always opportunity there, and our group does a very good job of trying to maximize that early on. But whatever the rules are, we tend to find ourselves towards the front.
Or kind of solicited feedback from the teams on where they stood on that position. Can you say where Team Penske was on that side of the fence?
Well, I think, look, at the end of the day, I'm glad we're having those conversations. It's always cool to talk about what's next, and that's the thing that I'm most excited about, really, is that, we're always talking about how to make the sport better and some new ideas, and, definitely appreciate those ideas. And so, as far as where we stand, I think the opinion's different depending on which crew chief you ask. But no, we support having the conversation, and yeah, we just want to go race. So we're happy to take whatever the rules are and try to figure it out.
We'll go to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports, for Mike again. Earlier this year, Austin had the big penalty, and it seemed like, well, who is this guy? Is he a guy who seems to run well some weeks, but tends to have that issue they had at COTA? Like, were there questions on your end? Has he done anything differently over the last 6 months or 6 weeks or so since then?
No, I feel like he gained a lot of momentum towards the latter stages of last year, and really has continued to carry that on. And we've had some bumps in the roads. We haven't. There's been a few races where our cars haven't been contenders to win, but all in all, I feel like he's really started to take another step towards the last part of last year into this year. So I think you're seeing some of that, like today.
Are there any other questions? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jenna.
Brian, I know everybody's equal in the organization, but with Joey winning the championship, Ryan, 2 championships in 3 years, Ryan winning the championship, do you guys ever feel like you have something to prove, or you're the third team, or you're not, as regarded as the other two?
Yeah, we've got a young team, whether it's my driver or a lot of my pit crew guys, my mechanics. I think it's very motivating when you see your teammates and you know what they do day to day and week in and week out, and you see the success that they have. So obviously you want to get to that point. I think for Austin, it's a very high measuring stick when you've got the back-to-back champions in-house. So it's a great situation where you know what they do, you can watch them, you can emulate them, and try to take some of the things they do in. And I think as a team we do that as well. We try to look at why, whether it's the 12 or the 22, what are they doing to their cars or their setups to make speed. So it's really a great situation to be in, and it's very motivating. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely motivates Austin. I think it's from, top down on my team. We want to prove that we can contend at that level.
And then just one last question, guys. I know that this is the 200th points paying race for Roush Yates. What does that mean for your organization or to you guys?
No, it's really great, and it's really cool to look Doug Yates in the eyes out there in victory lane at a super speedway, of all places, Talladega. I think if there's a couple tracks he would pick to achieve this goal, I think this was probably one of them. So we got a chance to celebrate with him a little bit out there, and we appreciate the partnership and what they've contributed with the strong engines and the great mileage to be able to come here and win today. So yeah, we're looking forward to some celebrations to come for that one.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys, and thank you for your time.